Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again. Real Kids TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this evening's video, if you will. 6:37 Tuesday evening. No better place to be than with my YouTube family. With that being said, there is a message. And it's a rather serious message this evening. You know, a lot of times you find that these young men, and I'm going to reference young, I'm going to say young men for the simple fact that typically when there's gun violence involved, it's usually young men. Not to say that, you know, young ladies don't get involved, but typically it's young men. Back in 2016, now before I tell this story, I want you all to actually picture this. Picture this being your child. Actually visualize this being your child. Back in 2016, a young lady that's pregnant, 8 months pregnant, decides to do what she does several times a day, walk her dog. The neighborhood is not the greatest neighborhood in the world, but it's not the worst. 8 months pregnant. So perhaps your child is younger, 13, 14, 15, or younger, and they walk the dog, so obviously they wouldn't be pregnant. But you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Your child goes out the door. Mom, Dad, I'll be back. I'm going to walk a princess. You know, dogs have like the cutest names, if you will. And imagine this. Bear with me.
And welcome to WKYT News at noon. I'm Barbara Bailey.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Bryant.
The case against 4 men charged in the death of a pregnant Lexington woman now has taken a dramatic turn.
Police say a stray bullet hit and killed 22-year-old Mariah Coleman back in September of 2016. Coleman was 8 months pregnant at the time. Her unborn child did not survive. 4 men were indicted on murder, fetal homicide, and robbery charges. Their trial was set to begin in March. But all that changed last night. WKYT's Victor Puente has the latest. It's our top story at noon. Victor?
Not only did these 4 men plead guilty to killing Mariah Coleman and her unborn son, but during those hearings, they identified who fired the shot that killed her. Mariah Coleman was 8 months pregnant when she was shot in September of 2016. Her and her son, Jacoby, would later die at the hospital. Police have said 4 men were trying to rob another man of some guns. During the course of that robbery, a shot was fired, hitting Coleman, who was an innocent bystander out walking her dog. Yesterday, those 4 men entered pleas, 3 of them to manslaughter and fetal homicide, the 4th to murder and fetal homicide. According to testimony in court, Demetrion Boaz was responsible for the shot that killed Coleman and her son. He got 25 years for murder and 10 for fetal homicide. Joseph Fain, Saquon Freeman, and Skylar Stegall were each sentenced to 12 years for manslaughter, along with 10 years for fetal homicide. Boaz had a separate hearing from the other 3, but during their hearing, they referenced his plea and admission to firing that fatal shot.
These 4 individuals had guns, and then, as Mr. Boaz said, there was an altercation, and then a shot was fired.
And that shot was actually fired by Mr. Boaz, is that correct?
That's what he pled guilty to, yes, just
that
a
is
few
correct.
minutes ago, yes.
During those hearings, Boaz, Freeman, and Fain entered guilty pleas to a robbery that happened on Red Mile Road a month after Coleman was killed. They each received 10 years for those pleas. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. And the four will now be sentenced on March 14th.
Sad situation. You know, oftentimes I've been in the criminal lifestyle. That's my reasoning for creating my YouTube channel, in hopes of discouraging young people, anyone for that matter, but particularly young people, from making these sort of foolish decisions that could potentially affect other individuals that have nothing to do with what you're doing forever. Again, imagine that was your child out walking her dog. At the time, she was 22 years old. This was in 2016. We're 8 years later. She would be 30 years old at this point. You got four dudes that's out and about, and they decide they want to rob an individual. They go to rob this individual thinking he's a pushover. He doesn't have any guns. He doesn't have any weapons. He's just going to give it up. It's not going to be any problems. Nobody's going to get hurt. You got one that's a driver, three that actually go in to do what they do, to make the robbery. Two of them have guns. Perhaps three of them have guns, but they recovered two of the guns. You go in to rob this individual that you think is a pushover and is so soft and is not going to do anything. He's just going to give it up. Little do they know, he's not having it. He fights back. He has a gun. Guess what? Pow! One shot. One bullet. One time. Out of all the places that bullet could have traveled to, hits her, strikes her. Pregnant with an 8-month, her baby was 8 months. 8 months. Again, imagine this is your child. You can't say, well, she's 22. She's not a child anymore. Yes, she is. To a parent, she is. To a parent, they'll forever be your child. I don't care if they 52. Out of all places that bullet could have gone, it hit her. 22 years old. About to bore birth to a little boy. I apologize. I'm putting these glasses on not to be cool. I have a daughter that's 25. My oldest. So it's really, really hits home. She has a dog. She walks her dog. She's had the dog for years. Okay, Dad. I'll see you in a while. I'm walk the dog. Okay, baby, be careful. Not knowing that would be the last time I seen my child alive. The last time that my child would actually hear my voice. Simply walking the dog. I went on to try to rob this individual as I was saying, and he wasn't having it. Dude fires a shot, bow, hits her. They don't get a dime from the dude. They jump in the car, drive off. The ambulance comes. Take her to the hospital, to where later on that evening, she would later pass away. She would later pass away with the baby. Jacoby, 8 months years old. Wasn't even 8 months years old. I don't even know how you pronounce that. 8 months old. Why? Because she wanted to, doing her daily duties. I'm not even gonna say she wanted to. She was walking her dog. The guys, all four of them made it unscathed. A lot of these young people do not get it. They just don't get it. And sometimes, you have moments to where it's just like, you know what, I'm done talking. Because you're not going to get it. But then I snap back into reality and I realize that, no, I can never stop talking. I don't care if I get 3 views, 5 views. I don't care if no one shares my videos. I don't care. I have to keep spreading this message. You young wannabe thugs, because that's what you are, the majority of you all are, is young wannabe thugs. Or out here affecting, kill each other if that's what you want to do. But then when innocent people become affected, it's going too far. It's going too far killing each other. But when you all start to kill innocent people, your child, out walking her dog. In this particular case, 8 months pregnant, never made it back home. Because you all wanted, these young wannabe thugs wanted to commit a robbery. Broad daylight. What was you all going to get? It's for you all. You that hard up for cash? You claim y'all claim you hustlers. Even though I don't condone street hustling, you can't get out here and get it how you live on the streets. Nah. You want to take. Take. You don't want to hustle for it. You don't want to work for it. You don't want to grind for it. You don't want to wait your turn. You want to take from an individual that you thought you was just going to take from. Let me tell you about robberies, man. I'm a 3-time loser, man. Now, that's just a slogan. It's not even a slogan. It's just a saying for saying I've been to the joint 3 times. Done a little bit of this, done a little bit of that. Robberies rarely go according as planned. It's always, we're just going to go in here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Nobody's going to get hurt. I'm not going to shoot anyone. The problem is you don't control other individuals. So if it's more than one of you all that goes in and everybody's strapped, guess what? You don't know if this individual's going to bust or not. And if he busts, guess what? Even though you're not the one that did it, you're charged with murder, attempted murder, assault, whatever the scenario may end up being. Whatever he did, you did in the eyes of the law. Your child out walking the dog. Never returns home. These guys get arrested, go to court. The guy that actually did the shooting, he gets 35 years, in which I was actually locked up with him briefly. He was in the penitentiary. We was at the transition. We was at the Rotary Farm. In Kentucky, it's what they call it, the Rotary Farm, where you go get classified. They determine where you're going to be sent off to, which prison you're going to. He was fighting every day. He was very, very disgruntled, to say the least. Was filing his appeal. Which most people do. Everybody does. But he didn't want to take accountability, full accountability, because if he wanted to take full accountability, he would have said, I killed that innocent girl and that innocent baby. I'm not filing any appeals. Because sometimes you'll file an appeal when you're blatantly guilty, but there's a loophole, and it may turn your 35-year sentence, in which you have to do 85% of that time before you have a chance of getting out, into 15 years at 85%. So he's filing his appeals. He was very combative, fighting the guards, or, cussing at the guards, acting like he's going to fight the guards. They would have tore his little ass up in there. But you all get my point. He could call home to his mama. Mama, can you send me some money? Of course, they sent it. I'm going to put you on my visitation list. Of course, they came. Guess what? The little girl and her baby that's gone, her family will never see her again. Pictures, dreams, maybe some videos. He got 35 years. 2 other ones got 12 and 10. Got 12 for her murder. 10 for, I believe, the child's murder. And if I'm not mistaken, they ran concurrent for a 12-year sentence. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I believe they ran concurrent for a 12-year sentence. Opposed to if they ran consecutive, it'll be the 12 plus the 10, which would equal 22. That's not enough. And the dude that was driving, he got a year. He got a year. Meanwhile, this young lady will never see life again. Her baby will never take his first smile, his first breath, his first steps. You young people, man, I'm at a loss for words, man. It's not all young people, so don't get me wrong. And even though I said you young people, I'm speaking the ones that are actually doing these type of things. Man, y'all got to get it together, man. Because you're throwing your lives away. If you want to throw your life away, throw your life away. I hope that you don't. But now you're starting to affect other people. And guess what you say? Man, it's part of it. It's part of the game, man. It wasn't meant for her. That's your reaction. That's your response. Meanwhile, you have this young lady's mother, father, family. They'll never see her again. You all will get out of prison. Or she get killed in prison. Other than that, you all will make it out of prison. See life again. Not her. These are the type of decisions. These are the type of things that happen when you all make the decision to tote these guns and think it's cool. You listen to this rap music, this drill music. You popping these pills. You drinking. You going out and you doing the most. You're doing the most. Don't care if people get killed. You firing for what? What was your reasoning for firing? If it was one gunshot fired, that means he didn't fire at you. What was your reasoning for firing? Again, out of all the spots, all the places that bullet could have landed, it hit her. And you little young wannabe thugs are responsible for that. Kiss your kids, hold your kids, love your kids, check on your kids. I know it's cliche, you hear it all the time. Check on your kids 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Open the door, make sure they're in there. Mom, this is my room. No, this is my house. No locking the doors in my house. Because I need to be able to check on you and make sure that you are where you say or where you're supposed to be. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive, man. Rest in peace. I didn't say her name out of respect for the family because I didn't consult with the family. I don't know the family, so I didn't consult with them before I did the video. But you all can Google it if you want to get more information. Kentucky woman, pregnant Kentucky woman, Lexington, Kentucky woman, gets shot and killed along with her 8-month-old child simply walking her dog.